Hi, this is Brian Lai from Malaysia. I'm a lecturer from the One Academy. In this video, I'm going to make high resolution model from our previous blocking model, as well as putting texture on them. We will be covering Marvelous Designer Simulating Cloth, Export 3D Mesh, and all the way to texturing. Let's get into it. I have my block scene open and I'm going to import the high resolution wood plate and book temporarily. We are not replacing the model right now, we only need them to be one of our cloth simulation collisions. Because they are on a mattress and I want to create pressure and weight around them. I'm aligning the wooden plate and book, animate them from a certain height and drop down to the origin position. Then I'm giving the mattress thickness, as well as creating the bed framing headboard. Unlike anything we have done before, in this tutorial we are going to export them as Alembic mesh instead of OBJ. Make sure to set your start and end frame correctly, matches the animation we have made earlier, and name them rigid bodies for MD. Now we can head to Marvelous Designer. In Marvelous Designer, we first import our Alembic file, setting my scale to centimeters and frame per second to 24 to match our Maya default settings. Here you can see our wooden plate and the book is floating in the air like we set in Maya. You can switch top right settings from simulation to animation and hit play or drag the timeline. Then you can see them dropping down. Back into simulation. We are going to use the rectangle tools hotkey S to create a simple garment. It will appear in the 3D scene and we are going to place them right on top of our mattress. If the size doesn't match, you can always deform them by using Edit Pattern, hotkey Z, to deform them in the 2D viewport. If you ever use Adobe Illustrator, you will be pretty handy to Marvelous Designer. You can always hold Shift for snapping. Everything in MD is very intuitive and friendly to new users. Then we can hold Alternate to create another surface for the bottom area, and right-click to flip it. Note that there is face direction in MD and they are very important. You always want to make sure they're facing the right directions. Now we are continuing to create the side garments, forming a box shape in 3D view. We are going to use the sew tool, hotkey N, and click on two sides you want to sew. If you ever had a reverse sewing, simply use the editing sewing tool, hotkey B, to right-click the selected reverse sewing, or you can use hotkey Ctrl B. Then continue to sew to make sure everything is sealed. We can right-click on the big down arrow and select Simulation GPU. What this will do is that instead of using CPU as our main computational power for simulation, we will use RTX 3090 to simulate. Note that using GPU will get lesser accuracy, but it is way a lot faster than CPU. Now go to Simulation Property and uncheck Ground Collision. Make sure that the simulation will still proceed even if it is below the 3D viewport grid. Now we can simply hit the Simulation button or hotkey spacebar. As you can see, it is very loose. We are going to select all the garments, then go to Property Editor and set pressure slightly higher. You can see it instantly pops up. But it is way too much. Instead of reducing the pressure, we can scale the entire garment smaller so that it is more tightened. And now set the pressure even higher. Now we can proceed to make the bed sheet. Simply duplicate from the mattress and make it bigger. Now we have to set pressure lesser. It flies right away when we push the Simulate button. Now we have another problem here, where it collides into the mattress. We have two choices now. We can either put it up manually or set back to CPU Simulate for more accurate result. Now we are going to pull it a little to make some nice folding. Sometimes it will stick to the mesh, but it is fine. Simply fight with it a little and put it around. This is the fun part of Marvelous Designer. My students always get addicted in styling the garment. When we are done, now we can switch to Animation tab again and check if the ground option is off in the property editor. Then hit record. What happens now is that the wooden plate and book will be moving down and press on the mattress. Now we can switch back to simulation mode. Since we are going to create more garments into the scene, I don't want to have too many simulations ongoing at the same time. So I can now freeze my mattress and bedsheet garments. This will prevent them from moving in the next time when I trigger the simulation. Save us a lot of computational power and time. Now we are creating the blanket. In this part, we are going to cheat a little. We can simply create a bolster with pressure in it and cover it with another garment so that it looks puffy quickly. We can pull it to stylize the shape. It will definitely take some time to work on it. Now we can go ahead and create pillows. We can create two simple rectangle shapes and sew every side, input some pressure and done. Stylize them and duplicate 4 of them. Now we are going to simulate the sweater. Go to Modular Configurator, Blocks, Woman, and T-shirt, and select components you want. Now we have the entire cloth and get to simulate them right away. Now we are going to retopologize it. These triangle meshes are not practical for render purposes. Select garments and go to the property editor, check remesh. I highly recommend you to go one by one instead of selecting the entire thing and click remesh. The software can crash if it is too much for your computer to handle. Increasing the particle distance can sometimes help to speed things up, but you end up with a lower resolution model. You can use a higher particle distance for object that is far away from the camera, and lower particle distance for object that is lower particle distance for close-up objects like the sweater, bedsheet, and blanket. Now we can export everything into OBJ. It is going to pop up a window for settings. Make sure again to set to centimeter in scale. Then you are good to go. Back in Maya, we can import the fabrics and start to UV them. Usually MD gives you a very nice UV and you don't even need to unfold them anymore. So in this case, we are only doing layout. Place them nicely into tiles. Meantime, I'm also deleting some of the useless objects that don't show up in our final render, like the fake bolster inside the blanket, bottom surface of the mattress. Sometimes you will find this jaggy surface. You can smooth them or deform them in sculpting mode. And sometimes it requires you to go to Mesh Display and set to face, then soften normal to fix it. Now I have arranged them into 3 tiles UDOM. Let's export and overwrite the old OBJ and head to Substance Painter now. In Substance Painter, we are importing the meshes. And we are not going to bake any map. Simply start with a fill layer and set height higher, and apply a messy fiber texture to the mask. Now you can see some tidy texture on the surface. This is not what we want. We can play with the parameters to achieve random fold lines, and add a blur filter on top of it. Now we are creating another layer, and this time we are going to make smaller folds. Same method, but different texture map. Play with the parameters and stack some texture if necessary. Now put them into a folder and name it bed. Assign them to the pillow, blanket, bedsheet, and mattress. Don't apply the folds to the sweater. What I'm doing now is simply enhancing the bumps only. We are not messing with colors or roughness in here. Instead, we are going to do that in Maya. Now we can create a paint layer and paint some height on it. Again, this is what I call texture sculpting. We did this back into the plants and water pot video. Now I'm sculpting some foldings around the wooden plate area to enhance the pressure. I will be continuing to further enhance every layer. Make sure all of them look good from different lighting, angle, and distance. What I'm going to do after this video is exactly the same. It is a repeating process to enrich the folding. No big changes or magic trick will be made. Last step in this tutorial is to save your file. We will be discussing how to export this to Maya in the 9th lesson. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for new videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.